First of all, Frank, can we just ask about the racism incident, what was said and what's been said to you and what was said to Antonio and Cesar?
I don't. All I know is that Tony Rudiger has said that he had some racist chanting or comment. I haven't had an individual conversation with Tony. I've only addressed the group, and a couple of the lads are in doping. But of course, I'll support Tony as we would support any of our players. In fact, any opposition players, wherever this happens, whatever stadium it happens at, needs to be dealt with. And as I don't know any more than that, we'll wait for the process to happen.
Okay, who's next, please? In the front here.
Frank, on the same subject, do you get the feeling this problem's getting worse in English football?
I don't know. I don't know if it's getting better or worse or not. We're much more aware of the fact that we have a protocol in to report it is obviously a positive step. Of course, in the perfect world, we wish that's not needed. I don't know whether it's getting better or worse, but if it is fact and it's true and it happened, then it needs to be dealt with and punishment needs to be strong.
Jacob?
Frank, do you think that it might come to the point where teams are going to have to walk off because it doesn't seem to be stopping this at all? It's been a year of this now, of racism towards players.
I don't know, and I think I've got to be careful to start talking as this was a matter of fact what's happened. I think it will be looked into in terms of walking off the pitch. I think that has to feel right in the moment until that moment comes. I think I don't want to guess what I would do. It would depend on what the players are saying, what they're feeling. I would be absolutely 100% behind them and I'm sure it would be a group decision, but we're not there yet. So, it's hypothetical to a degree.
Liam?
Frank, just on the game, Jose was just in. He said that you used the system today that a lot of the players were comfortable with from Antonio Conte's time. Did that factor into your thinking at all? What was the thinking behind the formation switch?
Didn't factor at all because I don't know if I want to go through all the players, but I'm sure half of them were not here. The players on the pitch, something like that. I know Tomori wasn't, and I know Mason Mount wasn't, and Tammy Abraham. And I'm not trying to clone anyone's system. In fact, I think the Conte system was an incredible system that won the league at Chelsea. The way we play it or I play it, the message that I give is different. It's not simple. If you play 4-3-3, you're cloning someone else. Otherwise, we'd all be cloning each other. So it was more, can this be a system that helps us defensively and offensively against Tottenham for the way they play? And that was my choice to play it, not to do with whether players understand it. Having said that, the players took the plan on incredibly well, as we all saw.
Okay, over there, gentleman in the glasses.
Talking about the plan, Frank, can you just explain a little bit what was behind your thinking? You did change the defence. Chelsea played a different system today. Can you just talk us through a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, I think, watching Tottenham, I think they're playing very well. They've got a lot of players that can run behind and cause you problems. Son, Kane, Ali, Moura, and having an extra centre-back gives you an element of protection against that, particularly the athletic centre-backs that we have, and they never got in on that pass today. The most important factor in my thinking was what it could bring us offensively and in terms of controlling possession of the ball. And I felt that where Tottenham do defend quite compact, we needed to use the sides of the pitch. Wing-backs help you do that. And then it allows us, and we haven't been clinical enough lately, but it allowed us to get Mason Mount and Willian slightly inside behind Tammy. So we had an element of protection the way it worked, but also I think it allowed us to have loads of control of the ball. So I'm pleased with how it did go.
Matt?
From the way you celebrated at the end, Frank, that was clearly more than just another 3 points. Does it get that much more emotional when you're the manager than when you were perhaps playing in these sorts of games?
Possibly. Particularly when you've had a long week and we've waited a long time for a week's training to be able to work on what we wanted to do today. So that's been great. And that's not just me, obviously. It's not just about me, it's about the staff and the input, and we speak a lot this week. I spoke a lot, worked with the players on the pitch. So for me, the reason to get so excited was not to look like we've absolutely accomplished anything, because we haven't, because we play Southampton in a few days and we need to worry about where we're at in May. But I think for the players to feel how they should feel after that performance, and for the fans to see what they can do when they're absolutely at it in all senses, was a big deal. Now, can we be consistent? Can we keep reproducing that?
Okay, any more? Jacob, we'll do 2 more. Jacob, in the middle there, please.
On the red card, Jose suggested that Rudiger might have made a lot of it. What did you make of it? And do you think
It was
that's
a red card. It was a red card. I don't know how much you're supposed to make out of it. I think Son is a great player, and don't know him, but from the outside looks like a great person. But sometimes in football you have instinctive moments that happen, a bit of a reflex. Maybe sometimes in a game that you're having it really tough, where it's going against you a little bit. And I think it was that moment. So I would not have any words said about how Tony Rudiger dealt with that.
Okay, last question, Dan, in the middle there, please.
Frank, there's a lot been said, including in this room, by Jose just now. Still buddies?
Sorry, still buddies?
Still buddies?
Yes, I think to go up against a manager who I respect so much from my playing days, but for what he's done in the game, and win, that obviously feels good. You know, he spoke before the game about how he really loves me and all that stuff, but he wants to win and beat me, and that's completely understandable. That's how we both went into this game, so it should never change that. Should never change that, even if we had anything on the line during the heated 90 minutes, which we didn't. But it wouldn't change that. What Jose has done in his career, what he did for me as a player, means I have respect forever for him on that one.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thanks all.